You ever notice how modern life is like a hamster wheel? Except the hamster's got Wi-Fi, a smartwatch, and anxiety. Everybody's running, sweating, panicking, but no one's going anywhere. We've got cars that drive themselves, fridges that talk, and people that don't. People say, we're living in the future. Yeah? Then why does the future still come with traffic, bills, and spam calls from your car's extended warranty? We built robots to make life easy, and then invented email, which destroyed every second of peace we ever had. You know what the real madness is. We've got more information than ever, and less sense than ever. You can Google the meaning of life, but you can't remember your password to get in. People brag about how connected we are. Connected? I've got 3,000 Facebook friends, and not one of them would help me move a couch. We text, we scroll, we swipe, but nobody looks up. Everyone's got a phone in their hand like it's a newborn baby. And the only thing they feed it is attention. Modern life turned patience into an antique. We want everything fast. Fast food, fast Wi-Fi, fast relationships. Now people break up through emojis. A broken heart emoji. You can't even get dumped with words anymore. And every commercial says, this will make your life better. No, it won't. You're just selling me another gadget to distract me from the fact that I'm tired, broke, and still waiting for meaning to show up in the mail. Modern life is a circus, and we're all the clowns. We juggle bills, balance stress, and pretend the makeup hides the madness. But deep down, we know the truth. We built a world so smart, it's driving us insane. You ever notice how everyone's connected these days? But nobody's really connected. Yeah, we've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 5G, smart homes, and dumb conversations. Everybody's walking around with their heads buried in glowing rectangles, pretending to be social. I've got 5,000 friends online. Yeah, name 3 of them who'd show up if your car broke down at 2 a.m. Spoiler alert. None of them would. They just react with a sad emoji and go back to scrolling through cat videos. We're all plugged in, tuned out, logged on, and zoned off. You ever go to a restaurant and see couples sitting across from each other? Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. They're both scrolling. They're taking pictures of the food they're not even eating. Oh, look at this beautiful pasta. Yeah, eat it before it becomes a fossil, Karen. People don't experience things anymore. They document them. Life isn't about living now. It's about posting. If it didn't go on Instagram, did it even happen? You can't even sneeze these days without someone filming it for a TikTok trend. A bless you has been replaced by a hold on. Do it again. I didn't catch that in 4K. Everyone's obsessed with followers, likes, shares. Digital applause for doing absolutely nothing. You could trip and fall in public, and instead of helping, someone's yelling, oh, wait, let me go live. That's modern compassion for you. Hold your fracture, we need content. And these so-called connections we make online, they're thinner than cheap toilet paper. You send a heart emoji, they send a thumbs up, and somehow that's supposed to mean something deep and meaningful. People are breaking up, making up, proposing, and ghosting, all without ever making eye contact. You ever think about that? The entire human experience. Love, anger, joy, reduced to pixels on a glass screen. We traded feelings for filters and conversations for comment section. Then there's social media influencers. Oh boy, we used to look up to people who did things, doctors, artists, inventors. Now we look up to people who unbox shampoo and point at text bubbles. Half the world's obsessed with someone who dances for 12 seconds to a remixed song, and the other half's arguing about it in the comments. Humanity's great achievement. We invented global communication, and we use it to debate whether a cat can wear sunglasses. And the irony, we call it a social media, but it's the loneliest place on earth. People are more anxious, more depressed, more isolated than ever. You post something hoping for connection, and if nobody likes it in 10 minutes, you start questioning your worth. We build a world where digital validation is more valuable than human touch. That's the madness. People spend hours curating a fake version of themselves. Perfect lighting, perfect smiles, perfect lies, just to impress strangers they'll never meet. And families, oh, they're connected all right. Every house has high-speed internet, multiple devices, and zero conversation. Kids don't talk to parents. They send memes. Parents don't ask questions. They forward fake news. Dinner time looks like a silent film festival, just chewing and scrolling. The only sound you hear is the click of someone liking a post about a family time. Remember when people actually called each other? You'd pick up a phone, hear a voice, feel a human being on the other end. Now it's all text, cold, emotionless, and ripe for misunderstanding. You send okay, and suddenly someone's mad because you didn't use a smiley. People get offended over punctuation. Imagine that, a whole friendship destroyed because someone didn't send enough exclamation points. We invented all this technology to stay in touch, and now nobody wants to be touched. We wear headphones in public, we avoid eye contact. We order groceries without speaking to a single person. We've got digital assistants, but no real friends. You can ask Alexa to play your favorite song, but not to understand your pain. You can tell Siri to call your mom, but it won't ask if you actually talk to her. We call it progress. But what are we progressing toward? A world where everyone's available all the time, yet completely unreachable. You can send a message across the planet in a second, but you can't get your neighbor to say hello in the elevator. You can FaceTime someone in another country, but can't face the person sitting next to you. That's the great paradox of the modern age. Infinite connection, zero intimacy. We used to crave community. Now we crave Wi-Fi. If the internet goes down, people panic like civilization's ended. You ever see a person lose signal? It's like watching a caveman lose fire. No bars. What am I supposed to do, think? People start pacing, sweating, praying to the router gods. We built an entire identity around being online. Without it, we don't even know who we are anymore. And the craziest part? We call these things our smarter devices. Smartphones, smart TV, smart homes. Everything's smart except us. The phone can recognize your face, but you can't recognize your neighbor. The fridge can remind you to buy milk, but you can't remember your kid's teacher's name. We gave all our intelligence to our gadgets and kept the stupidity for ourselves. We are addicted to connection, but allergic to closeness. We fear being alone, but don't know how to be together. People sit side by side, each in their own digital bubble, pretending that's companionship. Modern life's biggest illusion, mistaking connectivity for closeness. We've got the entire world in our hands, and we've never felt more empty. That's the madness of being connected but disconnected. We built a digital empire that promised unity and delivered isolation. We replaced eye contact with emojis, replaced warmth with Wi-Fi, and somehow convinced ourselves that's progress. The screen lights up, the heart reacts, the dopamine hits, and for a fleeting second we feel alive. Then the glow fades and the silence returns. And we pick it up again, because in this new world, scrolling has replaced breathing. You ever notice how people today know everything but understand nothing? We've got all the knowledge in the world sitting right there in our pockets, and yet we can't figure out how to be happy, calm, or even halfway sane. You can look up the entire history of the Roman Empire in 5 seconds, but you still can't remember where you left your car keys. We've become walking search engines, full of facts, empty of thought. You ask somebody a question these days and they don't think they Google. It's not about knowing anymore. It's about who can type the fastest. We used to learn things through living, through experience, through falling on our faces and getting back up. Now people think they're experts because they read half a thread on Reddit. Everyone's got an opinion, but nobody's got perspective. You can find 20 different truths online before breakfast, all contradicting each other, all written by people who think owning a laptop makes them a philosopher. It's like the whole world's been taken over by professors who never left freshman year and don't even start with the news. It's not news anymore, it's noise. Every platform screaming for your attention. A breaking story, urgent update, all while telling you absolutely nothing of value. It's like standing in the middle of a hurricane made of opinions. We're drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. You scroll, you click, you absorb, and by the end of the day, you don't know whether you're informed or just exhausted. Half the stuff people argue about online are things they didn't even care about 5 minutes before. We created this monster, This machine that feeds us facts at lightning speed but never gives us meaning. You can know every statistic about climate change, every scandal in politics, every celebrity breakup, and still have no idea how to sit quietly with yourself for 5 minutes. You've got people who can code in 6 languages but can't hold a real conversation. Kids memorize algorithms faster than nursery rhymes. We taught everyone how to find information but never how to think about it. And because we've got so much information, nobody trusts anything anymore. Every fact has a counterfact. Every truth has a debunk. You tell someone the earth is round, and there's always a guy in the comments with a YouTube link proving it's flat. Science, logic, common sense, all optional now. The internet's turned everyone into an expert, which means nobody listens to the real experts anymore. It's the only time in history when ignorance and arrogance work as a team. We've got artificial intelligence writing essays, diagnosing diseases, composing music. And yet we're too dumb to figure out that maybe we're outsourcing the wrong things. Machines are thinking for us. Apps are deciding for us. And algorithms are feeding us just enough information to keep us from asking the right question. You can't think deeply when your brain's on a digital drip feed. Every second, a new notification, a new post, a new distraction. We've trained ourselves to consume knowledge like junk food. Quick, easy, and instantly forgotten. Remember when people used to read books? Whole books! Now if an article doesn't have bullet points, people give up. Or too long, didn't read. We become allergic to depth. People want knowledge in snack size. Tiny, shallow bites they can digest without effort. Nobody wants to wrestle with ideas anymore. They just want quotes to post with aesthetic backgrounds. We've replaced wisdom with Pinterest. We quote philosophers without understanding them. We repeat science without studying it. And we mistake familiarity for knowledge. And look at education. We've got online courses for everything. Learn philosophy in 24 hours. I become a millionaire in 10 days. I master happiness in 3 steps. It's all fast food learning. Zero nutrition, maximum packaging. We've turned knowledge into a product, something to buy, not something to bond. You pay for a certificate printed out hanging on a wall and feel wise until someone disagrees with you on Twitter and you melt down. That's not education. That's ego dressed up in Wi-Fi. People brag about how informed they are. They start sentences with, "Well, I read an article." Yeah, you read half of it before the next ad popped up. Being informed isn't about reading more. It's about understanding more. But we don't slow down long enough to understand anything. We jump from one outrage to another, one trend to the next, all powered by headlines and half-truths. The modern mind's like a browser with 50 tabs open, busy, noisy, and about to crash. We've confused intelligence with memory. People can recall every Marvel movie in order, but can't remember to call their parents. We know how to optimize productivity, hack happiness, and to maximize focus, yet we're still burned out, lonely, and anxious. That's the punchline of modern knowledge. We know how to do everything, except how to live. The worst part, we stop trusting our own judgment. We wait for the algorithm to tell us what to read, what to believe, what to buy. You want to learn something new? The internet doesn't say, "Here's the truth." It says, "Here's what's trending," and we eat it up because thinking takes time, and time's something we traded for convenience. We build a world where curiosity is endless, but attention is extinct. And because everyone has access to everything, we've lost the sense of wonder. Nothing surprises us anymore. You show someone a miracle, they'll say, "Yeah, I saw that on TikTok last week." We've seen it all, so we feel nothing. The constant stream of facts, opinions, and images dulls our senses. Everything's remarkable, so nothing's remarkable. We turn the world's greatest information tool into a never-ending scroll of numbness. But the real madness, we keep calling this a progress. We brag about how much smarter humanity's become. While people can't sleep without melatonin, can't focus without caffeine, and can't relax without Netflix. All this knowledge, and nobody knows peace. We've got machines smarter than us and hearts emptier than ever. The ancient philosophers spent lifetimes thinking about meaning. We give it 5 minutes before switching apps. Information was supposed to set us free. Instead, it shackled us with options. There's so much to know, to read, to watch, and it's never enough. The more we know, the less we understand. We're chasing wisdom through a fog of trivia, mistaking data for enlightenment. And when we finally sit alone, without noise, without screens, without distractions, we realize the truth. We've mastered the art of knowing everything, except ourselves. Everything's fast now. Fast food, fast fashion, fast Wi-Fi, fast opinions. The whole world's on speed, but nobody's getting anywhere. You blink and there's a new update, a new version, a new reason to panic. We've turned life into a race with no finish line, and somehow we all agreed to run it. People don't walk anymore. They rush. They rush to work, rush through meals, rush through conversations, rush to sleep so they can rush again tomorrow. The world doesn't even breathe between moments now. It's one long inhale of chaos. We've been trained to believe faster means better. Faster downloads, faster service, faster results. Instant is the new holy word. You can get food in 5 minutes, entertainment in 5 seconds, and disappointment in half the time. But the faster everything moves, the less we feel. You don't taste the food, you don't hear the music, you don't see the sunset. You just capture it, post it, and move on to the next distraction. We're living in a blur, collecting moments we never experience. Remember when people used to have patience? When you'd write a letter and wait weeks for a reply? Now, if someone doesn't respond to a text in 3 minutes, you start questioning your entire relationship. Did I say something wrong? Did they die? No, they just went to the bathroom without their phone. But in 2025, that's considered a social crime. Waiting used to be normal. Now it's unbearable. We built a society allergic to silence, allergic to pause, allergic to peace. Everything has to be efficient, productive, optimized. You can't just read a book. You have to listen to it at 2x speed while answering emails and making a smoothie. You can't just take a walk. You have to track your steps, log your calories, and post proof that you would touch grass. Even rest is now a competition. I got 8 hours last night. What about you? We've turned life into a performance review. Every minute has to be justified. Every action needs metrics. Relationships have fallen into the same trap. Nobody dates. They match. Swipe left, swipe right, speed shopping for love. You don't meet a person anymore. You scroll through an inventory. Compatibility is a checklist now. Hide hobbies, filters. And if something doesn't fit, you don't work it out, you just swipe again. There's always another option, another distraction, another shiny replacement. We've made love disposable, attention temporary, and commitment old-fashioned. The same goes for entertainment. You can't make people wait through a story anymore. Just skip ahead. Videos are shorter, attention spans are thinner, and everyone's addicted to the next hit of dopamine. A 10-second video has to have a hook, a twist, and a payoff. Because if you don't grab them instantly, they're gone. Everything's been boiled down to flashes, clips, and noise. It's not about meaning anymore, it's about momentum. Keep scrolling, keep moving, keep consuming. Don't stop, don't think, don't breathe. And what's crazy is that people call this a progress. They say we've evolved. But what we've really done is built a treadmill and called it freedom. We run, sweat, and exhaust ourselves trying to keep up. And when we fall behind, we feel guilty. People say they don't have time. But the truth is, time hasn't changed. We have. We filled every quiet space with notifications. We replaced moments of reflection with moments of refresh. The pause button disappeared and nobody even noticed. Speed has become our drug. The faster we move, the more alive we feel. For a second. Then comes a crash. You get the meal instantly. It's tasteless. You get the package overnight, but you already want something else. You scroll for hours, but you don't remember a single thing you saw. We're chasing stimulation instead of satisfaction. We're mistaking activity for meaning. People are exhausted not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing everything too fast. Even the way we think has been sped up. We don't process ideas anymore, we skim them. We form opinions before we understand. We respond before we reflect. Every debate online is a race to shout first, not to be right. The faster you react, the smarter you look, even if you're talking nonsense. The world rewards instant outrage. You can go viral in 5 seconds, get canceled in 10, and forgotten by the end of the week. Truth can't keep up with that kind of speed. And the workplace? Oh, that's where the cult of speed truly shines. You've got emails, meetings, deadlines, reports, reminders, and buzzwords. Everything's urgent. Everything's ASAP. You finish one task, and there's another waiting. The inbox is a bottomless pit. People brag about being busy like it's a badge of honor. How are you? Busy. It's the modern way of saying I'm important. But half the time, busy just means running in circles. Productivity has become the new religion. And burnout is its holy ritual. We've lost the art of slow living. Nobody strolls. They power walk. Nobody cooks. They microwave. Nobody savors. They gulp. Even art's in a hurry. Movies cut faster. Songs get shorter. Stories get simpler. Because we don't have time for depth anymore. We've built a world where efficiency matters more than experience. The goal isn't to live well. It's to live fast. And what's left when you speed through life? A blur. A memory of movement but with no meaning behind it. And yet we keep going. Because slowing down feels like falling behind. We're terrified of being still, as if stillness means failure. But when everything's fast, nothing sinks in. You can't fall in love if you're always rushing. You can't grow if you never pause. You can't appreciate life if you treat every second like a stopwatch. The best things take time. Growth, trust, peace, understanding. But time's the one thing modern life refuses to give. People think they're saving time by moving faster. But time can't be saved. It can only be spent. And most of us spend it like loose change, scattering it across distractions. We've forgotten that living isn't about how much you do, but how deeply you do it. You can rush through a lifetime and still miss it completely. Because the truth is, when everything speeds up, the soul slows down. And eventually, it stops trying to keep up at all. Comfort. That's the new religion. The world's been redesigned so nobody has to lift a finger, break a sweat, or face a single moment of discomfort. Everything's soft, smooth, easy, automatic. We've got chairs that massage you, cars that park themselves, apps that shop for you, and beds that adjust your temperature while you sleep. It sounds like paradise, right? Except nobody's happy. Somehow the more comfortable life becomes, the more miserable everyone feels. We built heaven and turned it into a waiting room. We used to work for comfort. Now comfort's the default. We don't hunt, we don't struggle, we don't even wait. Ooh, you want food? Tap your phone. You want entertainment? Tap your screen. You want validation? Tap a heart. Instant gratification, zero effort. Everything's right there, except satisfaction. You'd think comfort would make people calmer, kinder, more peaceful. Everyone's restless, irritated, and bored out of their mind. When everything's easy, nothing feels worth doing. The problem is, comfort kills hunger. Not just for food, but for purpose. People don't dream anymore. They upgrade. The goal isn't to build something meaningful. It's to get a newer version. We've become addicted to convenience like it's oxygen. The smallest inconvenience feels like a crisis. The Wi-Fi lags for 5 seconds and people act like civilization collapsed. Oh no, the app froze. Relax, buddy. You're still alive. But that's the level we're on now. The tiniest disruption feels unbearable because we've forgotten what real difficulty feels like. We've replaced challenge with comfort and wonder why everything feels empty. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in friction. But friction's been designed out of modern life. We've padded every corner, smoothed every edge, softened every consequence. You can't even get lost anymore. The GPS will hold your hand the whole way. Every struggle has a shortcut now. Every effort has a hack. We call it progress, but it's really just insulation from life. And don't think the system doesn't know that. The world's built to keep you comfortable and compliant. You're easier to control when you're cozy. Sit back, relax, stream your shows, order your takeout, and don't ask questions. You're not supposed to live anymore. You're supposed to consume comfortably. Modern society isn't built around freedom. It's built around convenience. They don't need to chain you if they can entertain you. You'll sit still on your own as long as the chair reclines far enough. Comfort has made us weak. Physically, mentally, emotionally. We've got air conditioning, heated seats, noise-canceling headphones, and zero tolerance for discomfort. The moment something feels hard, people quit. It's not aligning with my energy. Yeah, maybe it's just called effort. People want results without struggle, rewards without risk. They want success without sacrifice. But the truth is, the muscles of the mind and spirit only grow under pressure. Without resistance, there's no strength, just softness disguised as progress. We've got gym memberships to simulate the struggle our ancestors lived through every day. Think about that. They hunted, lifted, built, fought. We pay monthly fees to pretend we're doing the same thing. We're literally buying hardship because the real world's gotten too comfortable. The treadmill is the perfect symbol of modern life. Running fast, going nowhere, surrounded by comfort. You're sweating in a climate-controlled room while watching TV about people living fake lives. It's tragic comedy. Even emotionally, we've bubble-wrapped ourselves. Can't handle rejection? Block them. Someone disagrees with you online. Report them. Feel sad? There's an app for that too. We treat emotions like malfunctions that need fixing instead of messages that need hearing. People want happiness on demand, like streaming a movie. But happiness isn't something you download. It's something you earn. And the earning part, the struggle, the pain, the waiting is what we've deleted. And what's really wild is that all this comfort was supposed to free us. That was the dream. Make life easier so we'd have time to live deeply. Instead, we've used our freedom to waste time more efficiently. We've got endless leisure, but no fulfillment. We can rest all day, yet never feel rested. Because rest only feels good after work, and joy only feels real after effort. We skipped the hard part, and now even pleasure feels hollow. We buy things to fill the emptiness. Bigger couches, better screens, fancier gadgets, but comfort can't fill a spiritual void. You can drown in convenience and still feel starved. We've mistaken comfort for happiness the same way we mistake noise for music. One soothes the senses, the other feeds the soul. And that's the problem. We've become a species chasing comfort at the cost of meaning. Look around. Nobody sits with discomfort anymore. The moment boredom shows up, we pull out the phone. The moment silence hits, we play music. The moment anxiety rises, we scroll. We don't process, we distract. We've built an entire culture designed to protect us from feeling anything too deeply. And then we wonder why everyone's anxious, numb, or lost. Comfort was supposed to heal us. Instead, it's numbed us. Even our ambitions are getting comfortable. People don't chase greatness anymore. They chase a balance. They want to be comfortable in their success, comfortable in their failure, comfortable in their dreams. But the truth is, nothing truly worthwhile is comfortable. Art, love, discovery, they're all born from discomfort. Every great thing that's ever happened in human history started because someone refused to stay comfortable. We talk about progress like it's this glorious journey toward perfection. But maybe perfection isn't the point. Maybe struggle is. Maybe the mess, the hardship, the effort. That's where the meaning lives. When life's too comfortable, you stop evolving. You stop questioning. You stop caring. You start existing instead of living. Comfort tricks you into thinking you're okay when you're actually just asleep. The irony is, the more we chase comfort, the more discomfort we create. We invented fast food to save time. Now we've got obesity and heart disease. We created social media to connect. Now everyone feels lonelier. We build entertainment to relax. Now we can't focus for 5 minutes. Every shortcut leads to a longer road back to ourselves. We keep fixing symptoms of a disease we refuse to name, the fear of discomfort. Comfort isn't evil, it's just addictive. A little makes life better. Too much makes it meaningless. The couch that helps you rest becomes the couch that keeps you stuck. The screen that entertains you becomes the screen that drains you. We were never meant to live padded lives, we were meant to live real ones. Lives with friction, challenge, uncertainty, and the occasional moment of awe that only struggle can deliver. We think comfort will bring peace, but peace doesn't come from eliminating discomfort. It comes from embracing it. Knowing you can survive it, grow through it, learn from it. Comfort is supposed to be the reward, not the lifestyle. But we flipped it. We made it the goal, and now we're suffocating in softness. The more we cushion life, the less alive it feels. In the end, maybe the madness of modern life isn't that we suffer too much. It's that we suffer for nothing. We endure stress, noise, and emptiness, all while avoiding the kind of struggle that makes life worth living. We've built a world that promises comfort in every moment, but delivers emptiness in every soul. We wanted ease, and we got apathy. We wanted progress, and we got paralysis. We traded our hunger for a full belly, and now we wonder why everything tastes bland. We built a world so smart it's driving us insane. Everywhere you look, there's a gadget, a screen, a voice assistant, a notification, all shouting, blinking, buzzing, demanding attention. The modern world doesn't whisper anymore. It screams. We wake up to alarms, scroll through chaos, and fall asleep with the glow of a device whispering bedtime lies about productivity. We thought technology would free us, make life simple, but instead it turned every day into a digital circus. Flashing lights, endless noise, and no exit. People keep saying, we've never been more advanced. Yeah, maybe technologically. But mentally, spiritually, emotionally? We're cavemen with Wi-Fi. We can build rockets that reach Mars, but we can't sit through dinner without checking a notification. We can store all the knowledge of humanity in a phone, but forget why we came into the kitchen. We've surrounded ourselves with tools to make life easier, yet somehow everything's harder. You can't even relax anymore. There's an app for that, and it sends reminders to relax more efficiently. We've become slaves to convenience. Everything's automated. Our lights, our bills, our playlists, our friendships. The machines do the thinking and we just nod along. You ever try talking to one of those smart assistants? You say, turn off the lights, and it says, did you mean by night lights? Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, Alexa. Drain my wallet while you're at it. The machines are running the show now. We don't live with technology, we live for it. Every beat gets our attention faster than an ambulance siren. And the funny part, we think we're the ones in control. Oh, I can stop any time I want. Sure, that's what every addict says. People delete their social media for a week and act like they just returned from a spiritual retreat. Meanwhile, they're checking their phone every 5 minutes just to see the time. Nobody wants to admit it, but the algorithm owns us. It knows what we'll click before we do. It knows our fears, our cravings, our boredom schedule. We used to feed machines commands. Now we feed them data, and they feed us dopamine. The digital world's turned reality into background noise. You're not living your life anymore. You're broadcasting it. Every meal, every trip, every smile. Documented, filtered, uploaded, forgotten. We don't experience moments, we curate them. People go on vacation not to rest, but to prove to strangers they're having fun. You ever see someone take 50 selfies trying to look spontaneous? That's the modern art form. Pretending to be alive while staring at yourself. And God forbid you disconnect. The moment you step away from the grid, people act like you vanished into another dimension. Where have you been? I texted you an hour ago. We've created a world where silence is suspicious. You can't just be offline anymore. You have to explain yourself. Not called solitude now. It's called a ghosting. People can't handle stillness. They don't know how to exist without input. The moment the screen goes dark, the panic sets in. What am I missing? What if something's happening? Here's a thought. Maybe nothing's supposed to be happening. We built a smart world that keeps us dumb. Everything's designed to think for us, predict for us, and decide for us. Don't know what to eat? The app will decide. Don't know what to watch? The algorithm will suggest. Don't know who to date? The software will swipe. We outsource choice, and now we don't know how to choose. You ask people what they like, and they just list whatever Netflix recommended last. People aren't individuals anymore. They're user profiles. Even our emotions are being automated. Feeling down? There's a playlist for that. Lonely? Try a chatbot. Stressed? Here's a guided meditation with an ad in the middle. We used to talk to friends, now we talk to features. It's therapy without tears, connection without contact, life without living. Every emotion's been turned into a subscription service. You can buy calmness, rent happiness, stream inspiration. But the moment the Wi-Fi drops, so does your sense of self. And what's worse is how proud we are of it. We brag about owning the latest device like it's a personality trait. Look, my watch tracks my heart rate. Great, but can it tell you why it's racing? You've got health apps, diet apps, sleep apps, all telling you to take care of yourself while keeping you glued to a glowing screen at midnight. We're the only species in history that needs a notification to remind us to drink water. We've mistaken busyness for purpose. People wake up and dive straight into digital quicksand. News, emails, messages, updates, alerts. The day starts with panic and ends with exhaustion. And somewhere in between, people call it a being productive. But what are we actually producing? Stress, noise, empty progress. Modern life is a checklist with no meaning behind it. You finish one task just to make room for another, all while feeling like you're falling behind. Even rest isn't restful anymore. People can't just sit still. They need background noise, background shows, background apps. Silence is uncomfortable because it's too real. In silence, the mind starts asking questions. The kind that can't be answered by Google. Am I happy? What am I doing with my life? So we drown it all out with sound, speed, and distraction. Because facing the truth takes longer than a loading screen, and nobody's got that kind of patience. We keep saying life's getting smarter, but we're the ones losing the manual. Everything's optimized except the human heart. We've got machines that learn, adapt, evolve, and people who can't focus for more than 8 seconds. We can analyze galaxies, but can't analyze our own loneliness. The smarter our systems get, the dumber our conversations become. We speak in abbreviations, think in memes, and feel in emojis. It's not language anymore, it's a transmission. We've compressed emotion to data packets. We worship progress like it's a god, but we never ask what we're progressing toward. A faster phone, a thinner screen, a shorter attention span. We used to invent things to solve problems. Now we invent problems to justify new things. We update, upgrade, replace. Endlessly chasing satisfaction that disappears faster with every improvement. The moment you buy the newest thing, it's already old. The machine you own today is the trash of tomorrow. And here's the cruel joke. The smarter the world gets, the more helpless people become. Power goes out for one day, and half the population forgets how to function. How do I cook without the microwave? How do I find my way without GPS? We created systems to make life foolproof, and they made fools out of us. We've lost resilience, independence, and even imagination. The modern brain is powerful enough to process galaxies of data, but too fragile to handle inconvenience. We thought all this technology would make us gods, but it just turned us into dependents. Every click feeds a system that knows more about us than we do. It predicts what we'll buy, who we'll love, what we'll fear. And we call it a personalization, as if being predictable is something to celebrate. We're not users anymore. We're products. Our thoughts are data, our attention is currency, and our peace is collateral. So here we are, surrounded by brilliance, blinded by it. We made machines smarter than us, then forgot how to be human. We live faster no more, have everything, and somehow feel emptier than ever. That's the madness of modern life. A world so connected it disconnected us from ourselves. We built a paradise of convenience and filled it with loneliness. We invented the perfect system to comfort the body and starve the soul. We created progress without purpose, knowledge without wisdom, and technology without truth. And the saddest part, we keep calling it evolution.